In this video, we'll be having a look at how to create letters to send to our tenants in bulk. To access the Tenancy word merge function from the home screen, we go into Tenancies and then into Tenancy Letters. This Tenancy Letters screen is divided into a number of sections. Just underneath the screen name, we have a section here which allows us to select the word template and choose to create a client note for the action. The headings for these columns allow us to sort and filter our tenant information. And below this, we have the tenant information. Like many other screens in Shintaro, we have the screen functions at the top here. When we are sending a word merge, we must have already set up a word merge template and told Shintaro that this is a tenancy word merge. If we look at this drop-down list, these are the tenancy word merges that we've already set up. In this instance, we'll pick another tenancy blank, and we have defaulted here to create a client note, and we'll leave this box ticked. The next step is to select the tenants that we wish to send the letter to. On the left-hand side, we have the Include box. If we have a tick in this column, a letter will be created for that tenant. We can select all of our tenants by clicking this Select All function at the top here. And this puts a tick in all of the boxes, which selects all of the tenants. We can turn this off by clicking the Select None function. And now all those ticks are gone. We can filter down the list of tenants here in a number of ways. If we have a look at this column here for property, we can filter the word merge to go to tenants at a particular property. Say we want to send the letter to tenants at the Flame Trees property. We can right-click in the name of the property and go down to Equals Flame Trees. This will filter our search to all of the tenants at the Flame Trees property. We could then click Select All, which would include all of our tenants at this property, and click the Word Merge function to create the letter to go to all of these tenants. We won't do that now. We will use the Show All function at the top here to remove the filter. Another way to filter by property name is to click the black arrow in the property heading, deselect all property names, and individually select the properties from this list that we wish to send the letter to. We could choose a number of properties this way, and we select those we wish by ticking the individual boxes. Let's clear that filter now by clicking the Show All function at the top of the screen. Another way to filter this screen is to use a text filter, such as Begins With. We right-click on any entry in the property field, go down to Text Filters, and left-click on Begins With. We now want to search for all of the properties beginning with the letter S, so we put S in the Property Begins With field, click OK, and we can see that we have 3 properties that begin with the letter S. Once again, Show All removes any filter we have used and brings all of our tenants back. We can use these filtering techniques for any of the columns in this section here. If we wanted to send the letter to all of the clients with active arrears, we can right-click on Active Arrears and select Equals Active Arrears. Down the bottom of the screen here, we can see that we have 40 tenants in active arrears. If we click Show All, we see all tenants again. Another way to search in the Tenancy Status column is to click on the black funnel icon next to Tenancy Status, deselect All, and select Active Arrears from the tick boxes. You could add to the Active Arrears filter by filtering this search further to include a program. If we wanted to see all of the tenants in arrears who are in our group housing program, we right-click on any entry with group housing and select Equals Group Housing. Now we can see that we have 25 tenants who are in active arrears and in our group housing program. We may want to send a letter to those tenancies managed by a particular tenancy manager, and we could filter this list further using the same techniques. Let's say that we want to send a letter to all of the tenancies in our group housing program who are managed by Gary Morris. We would right-click on any entry with Gary's name, select Equals Gary Morris, and now we can see that we have used multiple filters for those tenants who are in active arrears, who are in our group housing program, and who are managed by Gary Morris. Now we have 8 tenancies in our list. We could send a word merge to these tenancies, but we won't. We will now click the Show All function, and all of our filters have cleared and we see all tenancies again. We can use other columns for filtering, such as the rent review date. When we right-click on a date, we can select a letter to go to those on or before a certain date, and we can use this when we want to send out letters to advise clients that they have an upcoming rent review. Let's say we want to filter this list to show all clients who have a rent review due in the next month. We right-click on any date in July, such as the 19th of the 7th, 2015. Scroll down to Date Filters, and then select Next Month. This will show all clients who are due for a rent review in August. Now we've filtered the screen to show the 4 tenants that we would like to send the letter to. We click the Select All function as we want to send the letter to all 4 tenants. We've previously chosen our Word template and we've ticked Yes to creating a client note, so now we can select the Word Merge function. Shintaro then adds notes for each of these letters, and we can see here that Microsoft Word has opened up with the letters that we've created. We can see there is one letter for Niles Lofgren, another letter for Rob Hurst, another for Glenn Matlock, and so on. These letters are now Microsoft Word documents, so we can print them out and send them, or we can save the document, or do whatever we need to do here. Shintaro has created a client note for all of the letters that we sent, but because it's a bulk mail out, the client note will not have the details of the letter that we sent. It will just say there was a bulk email sent from Tenancy Letters, with the name of the letter in the note title. If you need to keep the contents of the letter, you will need to copy and paste the Word document that was created into the client note.